Hey, I'm Molly, registered dietitian and gut health expert. So here's the deal. I used to be a chef and I have a really strong background in making tasty food that is easy and approachable. I think out here in the universe, right, we've got all of these recommendations that we hear, that we see, that we follow, that we really want to be a part of. And it's important for us to remember like, not every recommendation is for you or for me. I have Crohn's disease and I've had it since I was 14 years old. And so the reason that I stopped being a chef and started being a dietitian is because I wanted to help people. So even if I can't work with every single one of you in my private practice, what I can do is show you easy, bite-sized ways to go ahead and take action toward feeling better, because we've got to start somewhere, right? So hopefully you can use this as a safe space. It's my first one. You know what I mean? Let's go. So every time you come back to the channel, you'll see a link down below. That's where you can access the Google Drive that has all of the recipes for the YouTube channel, the podcast, etc. Anything I talk about is going to be in there. So once you access it once, then you're in forever, and I'll just keep updating it. That's how that works. Let's get started here. So ginger tea, super easy. What we've got, this is a ginger root, and ginger root basically, it is in the grocery store. It looks like it's kind of expensive, but for the amount that you're buying, you're really not spending that much money. And I think honestly, per serving, this tea is much cheaper than buying ginger tea bags. Ginger root tea is better for you than the ginger tea where you are going to be buying it in the bags, because these ginger oils stimulate your vagus nerve. And your vagus nerve is the thing that tells your, like from your brain, that tells your body to start to move things down your intestines. That wave-like motion is called peristalsis. So when I cut something, what I'm doing here is I'm taking my hand and I'm making a claw, and then I want to, because I want to keep the knife away from my fingertips, right? I don't want to do this. So anyway, uh, with these, the way that I make this tea, I'm making it strong, so it is a little spicy, but the ginger is really going to be able to give you that trigger from the vagus nerve that says, hey, number one, let's relax the intestines. Ginger is kind of like a smooth muscle relaxant, and our intestines are made of smooth muscles. So we can relax them, and that's going to help to let gas and air out. But additionally, we're also going to be able to get ourselves in a position where maybe we're having better bowel movements. Like if you're constipated or whatever, then you're going to want to do something. You know, when you feel that like pit in your stomach, or that like I just feel so overfull or stuffed with, I can't fit anything else in there. This is going to help with that. And I recommend that you drink it warm. So in the recipe, it says a cup. Like you can see here, I've just like cut up a bunch of it. It doesn't really matter how much you use at least a cup, but I kind of like to go overboard with everything. So, all right, so I've got this. We've got the ginger here, and we're just going to add that right to the cold pan. And then the whole name of the game is like, get as much of this extract out of the ginger as we possibly can. So I've got about 3 quarts of water here. The recipe calls for 1 cup ginger to 10 cups water. And I just like to make a big batch so that then I can cool it down and pop it in the fridge and use it, continue to use it. Okay. Got that. We're going to turn it on high, and we're going to go ahead and cook this until it boils. Turn it down to medium and let it simmer for 10 minutes. Again, I like to use this tea for bloating and constipation mostly, and to soothe an upset stomach, because the ginger is a smooth muscle relaxant. It relaxes those intestines, lets the air through. It also triggers that wave-like motion, peristalsis, which helps to kind of keep things moving. And it just really settles your stomach. So those are the 3 times. Number 1, why do we get bloated? Well, we can get bloated because we eat really fast and we swallow a lot of air. We can also get bloated because we have a muscle like a pelvic floor dysfunction, which is also one of the reasons we can be constipated. So pelvic floor exercises, or even going to see a pelvic floor therapist, are 2 good tips there. We also get bloated because there is microbiome, so bacteria in our gut. And when that bacteria interacts with fibers that we eat, then it can ferment and cause carbon dioxide gas. Maybe you've heard of the low FODMAP diet, but this is kind of along the same thing as that. And so the low FODMAP diet just removes those fibers. But what I do with my clients is I work to kind of get rid of the bacteria and bring up the good bacteria, so that that fermentation process doesn't even happen, instead of just kind of eliminating a bunch of foods and then being afraid, right, to bring them back. So Yes, certainly on your own, the low FODMAP diet would be something that you could try, but remember, it's only supposed to be for 6 weeks. And I really don't want you eliminating a ton of foods for longer than 6 weeks without trying to bring some back, because I think it's really important that we have a rich and diverse gut microbiome. And the only way to do that is to eat a lot of different kinds of fibers. So that's my thought. Now, constipation, 3 things for constipation: water, fiber, and movement. So let's make sure, if you're constipated, that number one, you're drinking enough water. Number two, you're eating enough fiber. Now, like I just said, sometimes fiber can cause a lot of bloating. So what are you supposed to do? Cooked fibers, carrots, zucchini, green beans, gentle stuff, whole grains like quinoa. But the recommendation is 25 grams. If you go from 10 grams, which is probably where most people are, to 25 grams, you're not going to feel good. So I would slowly increase the amount of fiber that you eat per day, like, every couple days. You could also do peeled fruit or something like along the lines of a Metamucil. Try that. Psyllium husk fiber. If you get Metamucil, get the sugar free. Just, I don't love sugar alcohols either, but just because like the sugary Metamucil has like so much sugar by volume, it's really not the vibe. So I like plain psyllium husk fiber because I'm boring, or just mix it in with some juice or something like that. That's going to help kind of keep things moving, and it's also going to help to bulk and form stool. So even we'll talk about diarrhea in another episode. All right, this is boiling. I'm going to turn it down to medium, and I'll see you back when we strain it out. My thing, and then it's just a regular old strainer. I just don't want, I don't want to have to peel it, number one, because I think that's a waste of time. And number two, it's better if you let it cool with the ginger in there again so we can extract the most possible ginger. So this is how I'm just straining out everything instead of having to make sure the ginger's all great or whatever. Now I had a mentor once that would actually blend the ginger up in the blender, add that, and then strain it. So you certainly could do that as well. Have all my tea in this bowl, then I'm just going to take it and I can either ladle it in here. I could use a funnel. I could try to pour it, but I'm not feeling very brave. And then I'm going to take this. You can store this in a pitcher. You can store it in these things. Obviously, I didn't really let this cool. And put it in the fridge. Heat it up when you want to drink it. I recommend you drink it warm because it's the most soothing that way. But yeah, I just store it in these, and that's that. Thanks for hanging out with me today. Please subscribe, leave a comment if you want to see something else, because I'll make whatever you guys want to make. And next time is going to be risotto, what to eat when you have a stomach ache. Don't forget to click that link down below and get all the recipes from the channel. Bye.